What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Thursday night live stream on Drums and Drams. It's a special stream, kinda. It's kind of a special stream, although the honorary guest of tonight's stream is not with us because she is asleep in a bassinet by the bed right now, and her mother is asleep right next to her because she needs some rest also. So yeah, you saw the thumbnail. Baby Madeline was born on Father's Day, which is pretty cool. Am I a terrible parent for live streaming 5 days after that? That is for you to decide. We should run a poll. Somebody should run a poll. I don't even know if you can do that in the YouTube live chat. That would be an interesting poll result. But we're here. We're going to get into some, new-ish, some very new, some new-ish bottles. And we'll do some comparisons. We won't go crazy late. I've got to be much more of a responsible human now. But give it a couple months so she's not just a little milk monster, and then we'll be back to the old shenanigans. So there you go. Oh, what's up? Spacon's into the poll idea. Hit that like button, guys, on your way in, please, and thank you. Quick plug here at the beginning. I'll just say it right off the bat. Patreon link in the description of this video. We have probably 15 single barrels at least in the queue right now, ready to go. Everything from Hazmat, Green River Rye from Oak, good lord, Onyx and Amber, sorry. Almost said Leather and Oak. To a crazy slew of backbone picks, all sorts of stuff. $5 or $10 a month, supports the channel. You get access to barrel picks, you get into the Discord community, all those things. So please check out the Patreon. That would mean the world to me. Either do that or buy me a DoorDash gift card, because we're DoorDashing every meal right now. But we do have a giveaway tonight, so you can check the description of the video, guys. I'll throw this banner up. I'll keep referencing it throughout the stream, but you'll see the 8 pours that are listed there. It's an 8 1-ounce pour sample giveaway. We're going to have 3 winners tonight. It includes this bottle that we're going to crack together on stream. I waited all day to crack this. Found this at the liquor store today. Blade & Bow 22, which I've never tried. It's kind of a funny story about this bottle, so I'll tell you that when we get there. But for now, I'm going to start off with a sip of the standard Eagle Rare 12 just to kick things off. Let me know what you're sipping on this evening. I can't say, Jesus, Sam. Not yet. Not yet. Cheers, guys. I needed that. I needed that. All right. Sam, thank you for the super chat, man. Got you in for 10 entries. Says congratulations. Thank you, sir. Thank you, my dear friend Sam. Appreciate you, bro. All right, let me see. Let me catch up on the live chat just a second while we get some more folks in here. Mike Caduce, thank you. $2 super chat. Hello to you. And yeah, hit that like on your way in, guys. Yeah, you saw the picture. Very disheveled in that picture that's going on there on the thumbnail. Thank you, Javier, Travis, Mini Dad. Oh my God. Sipping on Barrel 12 to celebrate. All right, there we go. Drums and dads. Listen, I'm not going to be that person that just, it kind of drives me nuts. When you see someone have a baby and then in 2 days, they're an expert on baby things and they're posting in their story every day. I'm like, come on, guys. You don't need to be a baby influencer 2 days into parenthood. That shit drives me crazy. So I posted some photos and I said, this is the one time I'm going to dump some photos on you, and then we're not dumping anymore. Except for Discord. That's a little different. That's like AIM for adults nowadays, or really not. It's really more for gamers and kids, I think. Cam's running behind, guys. He saw a line at a random store. He'll be back in 15 minutes with a 10 of Apple Mint Zins and a bottle of Listen, man, that all sounds kind of cool. I'll be honest. Bullet 20-year rye probably would taste good with whatever flavor of Zin you just made up. By the way, 20-year Bullet rye at 100 and what was it, 37 proof. The press release came out today, and 1,776 bottles. Cool, I got to get that bottle. That might be an all-time pour for me. And it's got the Bullet name on it, which is crazy. You think about all the, the Diageo brands, and they do it under the Bullet label, probably because Bullet is so known for rye whiskey as just a mixer. I actually think that's kind of a cool move to premiumize Bullet for this release. I don't know what the bottle looks like, but excited for that. Thank you, Don. Cam is getting a few minutes more in his nap. He'll be on shortly. No, dude, I'm trying to sleep basically from like 1 or 2 whenever the baby wakes up. Like, she goes back to bed. I'm trying to sleep from then till like 8, 9-ish in the morning. And then Sarah can kind of handle those solo. No paternity leave. There we go. Yeah. Dude, I should have asked Joe to come help me trap Super Chest tonight because I feel like I'm about to drown. Thank you, guys. He's waiting on tacos. I did just eat tacos. Yes, sir. Probably needs a stream to stay sane. Yeah. All right, I'm going to scroll down. Can I report him for being late? First guy to have kids thinks he can keep us waiting. Sarah was totally cool with the live stream, so we're good. We're good to go on that. All right, I've caught back up to Sam's super chat there. What's up, Triggs? Daniel, thank you. So, guys, let me see what we're gonna start with tonight. After this Eagle Rare, I think where we're gonna go. Do you want to just go straight into the Blade and Bow, or should we wait a little bit for the Blade and Bow? Because that is honestly the next step up on proof. Actually, it's a step down. It's only 92 proof. Is the Blade and Bow. Otherwise, we could come back to it because it is such an older whiskey. So let's run down real quick what we have tonight. We have the new little book, Chapter 10. We have the Bookers that everybody's been talking about, the 2601 batch. I tasted this at a barrel pick recently. My buddy Austin brought it. Pretty damn good. Like, I was very shocked. And so he ended up snagging me that. And then we've got the new Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Rye. We still haven't seen a bourbon this year, but B526 Rye is out. Stats are, in between. Obviously, Blade and Bow 22. I think we should revisit this, comparing it to the Blade and Bow. It's basically same age, basically same proof. The Elijah Craig 21. And I'd love to just like hear you guys' thoughts, questions, ideas, maybe more comparisons. That bottle, I think, is just going to be divisive the more people try it. I think people have certain expectations. We got the Russell's 13. You saw this on the thumbnail. The new Rittenhouse 250th, which I previewed on a like random pop-up Tuesday night stream at one point, but I've never actually like tasted it on a Thursday and done comparisons. I think the Rittenhouse will go really well with this Elijah Craig. We have, similar age stats. The proofs are a little far off, but that's okay. And then I'm going to try this as well. This is Jason's new thing, new Rye release. So it's Jason's DrumKey Spirits. I got my freaking hand in the way. There we go. And this is the Rye'd Cymbal 118.6 proof. I don't know exactly what's in this. I'd have to pull it up on like a Google search or something. I also have a couple samples here from a buddy of mine. New Riff Duet and New Riff 8-year Aroostook. I think that's a malted rye. So we've got some things that we can get into there. Thank you, Daniel. Baby formula. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I just spent, because we're buying some, like, Sarah's, all into it. She's done all the research. I should be better. This, like, expensive formula from overseas, this ready-to-feed liquid stuff, I dropped some coin on that today. Today was a mini Christmas. Blessed to have snagged a bottle of the 13-year Russell's. Nice. Congrats. Jason, thank you, man, for the super chat. Jason H, in for 4. Got you. Cheers right back at you. Oh, you said congrats. Well, cheers, dude. John, thank you, man. In for 4. I'm going to try to keep up here. Yeah, I should have, a little super chat tracking would go a long way right now. Holy crap. Terry. All right, put Terry up there. DoorDash and diapers. Thank you, Terry. Got you in for 10, bro. All right. Mike G. I'm going to blaze through these real quick, guys. Real quick. In for 4. Congrats to the Leach family. Thank you, Mike. Get some sleep tonight, Mike. You get less than I'm getting right now. All right, Mike Conk. Conklin. I shortened you to Mike Conk, but that's danger zone. But I'm going to leave it. Said congratulatory DoorDash fun. There we go. That's funny. And then Mr. Keegster in for 2. DoorDash fun. Thank you, guys. All right, I'm going to cut it real quick before we keep going. What should we get into next? You should pour the blade and bow for some airtime. Let's do it. Let's crack the blade and bow and get it in a glass at least. Okay, so this is, you know what? This is how the Stolzle Reserve 31 was too. Just like, how does this work? Do you just pull on this? I guess you do, huh? Oh, and then it's got its own band underneath. All right, that's not terrible. The, look at that. Gold cap on there. The Stolzle Reserve 31 packaging was so bad that I feel like I'm a little scarred for all these, you know, Stolzle Weller or Diageo release things. It's just, that was so poorly done. I couldn't believe it. Although I think one of the most kind of growing and interesting premium brands right now is Blade and Bow with the 30 and the Stolzle Reserve. Like the stuff that's coming out of the Stolzle Weller distillery, I think is very, very interesting. All right, we got a little cork residue here, which is kind of unusual for a bourbon like this. And then one thing I was curious about, so this says L8. I don't know if the laser codes on Blade and Bow 22s are like other things when you see the first digit after L and that means the year. But like, I don't know how often they bottle the 22 year. L8 to me would suggest 2018. I don't know if that's, you know, crazy or not. Oh, that smells pretty good. It smells pretty good. And again, I've never tried this, so we'll get that in the glass, get that airing out a little bit. Is EC going to do a barrel-proof bourbon at all this year? I'm not sure, Sam. I feel like I should just email Heaven Hill and ask him. Joe. I was like, dude, of any night, tonight is the night I wish I had Joe. Tracking some SCs. Calvin, get you in here, man. Cheers, Cam. Thank you, dude. In for 4. Appreciate you. And again, guys, like we're doing the giveaway as normal, $5 entries, all that kind of stuff. And you can see the list of the samples in the description. It's nothing crazy, but it does have the Blade and Bow 22 and the Elijah Craig 21, New Russells, you know, everything I'm going to taste tonight. Plus Jason's release. Nick, thanks, man. Congrats, brother. Take it all in. Cheers to the newest and best chapter yet. Cheers. Thank you. I can't drink too much on these super chat. Cheerses. Dan Swank, in for 50. Thank you, Dan. In for 10. ECBP is unlikely, says Kyle Farr. Yeah, I mean, it seems that way. At this point, they're probably just cutting their losses and hopefully aging stock up or waiting on better barrels. I don't know what the case is. Mr. Prez, Tex got you in for 4. Thank you, sir. Jason can't help tonight. We'll watch the recap. See you, man. Have a good night. I have an L20 Blade and Bow 22. From my recollection, it's a 2020 bottling. Okay, so maybe this is an old bottling or something then. So yeah, the story with this that is not just interesting for me today, but when Sarah and I got married in Colorado, we went out and got married like, you know, in our sweatpants, hiking up a mountain kind of thing. It was very low key with our parents. There was a liquor store by the little, like, it wasn't a resort. It's not the right word. Like lodge. It was like a lodge in Colorado Springs. And there was this little liquor store that was obviously like a tourist trap. But the owner told me one day, hey, I'll sell you a Blade and Bow, like you're getting married, that's really cool. I'll sell it to you for $400 SRP. Just come back tomorrow. Went back the next day, and the owner wasn't there, and they were like, yeah, we don't know what you're talking about. You're full of shit. And I was like, no, I promise he told me this yesterday. And they're like, yeah, of course he did. So I didn't get it then. That's the only time I've ever seen one of these in person. Never really was interested in paying secondary because the price was really high, the proof is lower. So then today, I never go to liquor stores and wait in line. Went to one downtown in Columbus, kind of on a whim. I was like 20th in line, and I shit you not, I am fairly certain there was one bottle of this for public release. The other stuff going to wholesale accounts. And everybody in front of me either bought Sweet Wheat, 1792 Sweet Wheat, Weller Antique, or E.H. Taylor Small Batch. And I walked up there and I'm like, there's no way that's a Blade and Bow 22. Now it was $600, which I don't know if that's SRP or a little high these days, because Ohio is now kind of charging over SRP for certain things. But I'm like, I'm gonna get the 22, you know? And the people at the counter were like, whoa, really? I'm like, I can't believe it's still here. So there you go. That's my story. So it started with getting totally, you know, having this ripped away from me at this point 5 years ago, almost exactly 5 years ago when we got married. And now 5 years later, get it in Ohio. Clay, what's up, dude? Thank you for the super chat. In for 3 said, Cam's budget about to go from Blade Mode 20 to Jim Beam White Label. Congrats to you and a future blue. That would be pretty cool. I saw they just had a bus fire, which is a little scary, but sounds like everything's okay. You got married in Colorado. Was Matt your best man? No, I wish. That would have been awesome. Congrats on your baby. Thank you so much. Okay. April 2026 re-release. Has an SRP of 1100? No way. Really? Blade and Bow 22 SRP. I promise we're going to taste some whiskey here. It's officially $550, though some earlier batches, actual cost $1,000. Oh, I see your Fred Minnick. You pulled that from the Fred Minnick press release. I think that SRP is just not correct. Anyways, maybe it'll go up here in a second. All right, let's dump in. I'm not even going to go there. Let's jump into something real quick, just to kind of get my palate ready for some other things. Blade and Bow's getting some air. Let's do this. This is New Riff 8-year. Again, I don't know exactly what's going on with this. Malted Rye Aroostook. New Riff. Let me know if you guys have tried this. Proof is 112.3. 100% malted rye. Okay. Ooh. It smells good. It smells really good. Thank you, Slad. I'll get the Venmos, like I always say. I'll get those in a second. You guys can see the Venmo, PayPal if you don't want YouTube to take their 30% cut. I'll still read out what you sent on the screen. You can send that those handles or emails are in the description. Man, so one thing, I don't know if you guys ever experienced this with malted rye. Whenever you have like 100% malted rye or even just a high percentage of it in a mash bill, it often gets soapy for me, and I don't know exactly what that is. Like, it has typical rye characteristics, but I think the malted rye, it might not be soapy as much as it is just extra floral when it's malted. But I kind of will sometimes, like, if I have a really floral whiskey, I'll associate, sometimes I associate floral, honestly, with like drier sheet notes. I don't know, and I don't know if that tracks for anybody either, but soapy, drier sheet, floral, these kind of like run together for me, and I think I get it from malted rye. But this, you know, it is very floral, but there's almost like an orange tea thing in here too with it. Let's see what it's like. And it's a lot of honey on the palate. This is totally weird. The palate does not really taste like the nose smells. It's kind of smoky honey, still with some floral and with some rye character on the palate. Yeah, this is unusual. I'm gonna pour the other New Riff real quick. Again, just a couple rapid fires here at the beginning. And this next one is the New Riff Duet. Similar proof, 111.2. I think this might be the Rheingeist collab, if I'm not mistaken. Anyone tried this? Duet. New Riff and Cincinnati's Rheingeist Brewery. $80. Highly unusual grain forward profile. Oh, it sounds like I'm not going to like that. 57% malted barley in this next one. 37% raw barley. Doesn't sound like I'm going to like that. And 6% rye. So let's see what we've got. Listen, New Riff can do good things, so yeah, that ain't gonna do it for me. It's interesting. And it's like, as you might expect with that much barley in the mash, I mean, 94% barley, some malted, some raw. It does have a little American single malt vibe. No, that's not great. Dude, Joe's in studio. Joe, what are you doing, bro? Are you tracking super chats? That would be so sick if Joe did that from home. Do you still have like the spreadsheet link, Joe? You didn't remind us that you were live. Who was your manager? Oh, I didn't say that? Oh, I didn't say it in the Patreon. Dude, I'm rusty. I'm rusty right now. Okay, I'll have to do that. I'll do that in a second. He's posting as me. Joe's posting as me. Going to track super chats. Let's go, dude. So we're caught up in here, Joe, but then just I'll get the Venmo PayPal if you can get this, and then I'm gonna send you $100 at the end. I like the malted rye, not as like a high price pour. That's an SRP only kind of thing. Very good. A lot of potential there. I just think it's unusual, you know? And I think the nose and palate are so different from one another. The duet is so not my jam. It is like, when you say raw barley and you think of a raw grain note, this just smells like a bag of grain. And it's, I said that the other one had orange tea notes. This is just black tea. It's black tea and raw grains. Dude, the palate is bonkers bad. Oh. No, we're gonna move on. Malted rye, good. New Riff knows how to do malted rye pretty well. Okay, let's do this. Let's do some old whiskeys first. Why not? They're lower proof. We're gonna go back down in proof. So I've got the Blade & Bow 22 poured out. I might grab the 30 here for a comparison after this, but let's also pull out the Elijah Craig 21, which I think this bottle's great. It is too expensive, SRP. That does not mean it's not a really great whiskey. Pay him in bottle chugs. He's not here. If you pay me, I'm not helping. Okay, Joe, I won't pay you. Fine. What if I just turn the corner in my basement and Joe's sitting over there at his table on the other side of the room? Cam, you should try the double oaked River Roots Weeder I sent you. You want me to do it right now? I'll taste it. I gotta think about where I put it though. I think it's over here. I'm getting distracted. I'm getting sidetracked. Oh, you know what I did try? Jacob, you know what I did try? I tried that Appalachian Barrel Company rye, the 129.4. Very good. I don't know what it is. I think it's probably the 100% Green River Ryes. Excuse me. And if it is, that is a great barrel of that stuff. So good for them. Probably one of the best barrels of that I've tried. And then here's the double oaked wheat. So I'll try this because it's only 102. So let's give this a little go. Whose pick was this? Remind me, Jacob. Regarding ECBP, I've seen 4 hazmat single barrels so far this year store picks. That's 4 more than I've ever seen in years past. Perhaps they're skipping the batch release to do those. I don't know. I mean, you'd think they have enough whiskey to kind of make it all happen, you know? All right, River Roots double oaked wheat. 9 and 10 years old on the hazmats. Yeah, and I know someone else who got a hazmat pick, you know? Another whiskey group. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I can't remember if that's a Deatsville barrel or not. I think it might have been. This was 3 barrels that ABC got that were James E. Pepper. Really? That's Pepper. I'll have to go back and try it with that in mind then. Oh, so is this Jason's pick? Is this Jason K's pick? All right, River Roots double oaked wheated. It's one of the... What was the double oaking barrel for this, Jacob? This is Southern Distilling Weeder. Wheated bourbon, though. It smells great. It's very soft. And what's interesting, like you still get the kind of brown butter coffee thing that you get on a lot of these barrels. But this one has quite a bit more fruit to it than I'm used to from them. Almost like a strawberry jam note on top of that wheat bread. Weird. Like in a good way. It's almost like if you made vanilla bean ice cream spicy. And I mean like in a... Like not in an ethanol proof way. Like in a flavorful, like... It's almost like chili pepper mingled with vanilla bean ice cream is a thing that I got on the palate. And again, some of these wheaters from Southern Distilling can be very weird and funky. Apparently double oaked in a short Barton 13, which is, okay, don't know which one, but maybe one of mine. Pretty good. I love these wheaters though. Yeah. Wow. For only 102 proof, that's got, you know, it's got a lot of flavor to it. I dig it. Thanks for sharing that, man. I'm going to pour the rest back after the stream. I keep the glasses with their respective bottles. And you're right. Like, that's the thing. It has fruit notes to it. So that's got to be coming from the Barton barrel. Like that strawberry jam note with the weird coffee funk under it. Yeah. Strawberry jam and wheat bread. That's a good combo. Uncrustables. Yeah, right. Jeremy said 11-year Deatsville, barely local here. You got a, what do you mean, Jeremy? 11-year Deatsville pick? Cam, do you buy all the James Pepper Rye in the country? Why is it not showing anywhere? A lot of people saw them in Connecticut for $50, which is half of SRP. I'm not even sure how people could sell it at that price. All right, let's keep going. Let's do these low proofers now. So let's get into Blade & Bow 22. I don't think there's very much information about this online. Blade & Bow 22 info. Let's just see. Specifications, proprietary blend, 92 proof, Diageo, aged and bottled at Stitzel. I don't think there's a ton of info on this one. Let's check it out on the nose. Oh, Joe with the freaking... Let's go, Joe. Guys, this smells like a friggin' Dusty. 100% smells like a Dusty. Wait, where'd it go? There we go. Wow. So I didn't know what to expect from this, because when you go to like an Elijah Craig 21, that is not Dusty smelling whatsoever. It just smells like old modern bourbon, and it's very sweet. But I think Joe can't decide if he wants to put that on the screen or not. It's funny that he's producing the stream from not right here with me. That's really funny. Yeah, dude, this is just butterscotch. This just smells like a Dusty bourbon. Now, my only problem with it is that it's 92 proof. It's way weak on the nose, but nothing about this reminds me of the Blade & Bow 30. Like these, and I will compare them here in a second. They do not feel related, even a little bit on their profiles. But yeah, I mean, this is like, this is such a cop-out to say. It's butterscotch. It's like very toasty, oaky kind of notes. It smells 100% Dusty. It reminds me actually of, like it smells like old Bernheim. It reminds me of the Old Fitz 13-year VVS, which I don't have any left here at the house. That's what this smells like. All right, let's taste it. I'm excited. Even if this is thin on the palate, which I fully expect it to be, this profile is my jam. It's thin. Oh, but it's good. Was Joe the midwife too? Oh my God, Lloyd, come on, dude. And Joe, Joe just clicked on that, right? Jason P said, congrats. Thank you, man. Look at that. Joe nailed it. This is so sick. Yeah. All right. So here's the thing about this. Like, when you look on secondary and you see people paying $1,300 for the Old Fitz 13 VVS, I think that's right. $1,200, $1,300. That's 100 proof, and it's 13 years old, and that was distilled in 99, I believe, at Bernheim. I think that's right. And so you think about that and the price point, and then you think about this, and SRP on this, I mean, I paid $600 today at the store. Secondary is like $800 maybe. And so it is a lower proof, but it's a higher age. And it's got a very similar profile to that Old Fitz from memory. I just wonder why this really never took off on secondary. It either has to be because so few people have tasted it because it's so limited, and or people just don't want 92 proof stuff at this price point, which I understand both of those things. Like, I have my complaints about this bottle 100%. I still want to drink it, you know? Like, this is a whiskey you could sit down with, not think about, and just crush so much of, which is kind of a problem for a bottle with this price point. It's just smooth like butter on your palate. Silk. Uneventful drinking experience. But if anybody wanted to taste what a smooth bourbon really means, not in like the, oh man, I found this version of a 4-year product that's a little smoother, aka doesn't taste like fire ethanol corn water. You know, it's 10% less of that. Let me show you this new 4-year for $30 that's so smooth. I mean, like, the actual definition of smooth bourbon would be this bottle. There is pretty much nothing I've had that's any smoother than this on the palate. So now let's go to the Elijah Craig real quick, which is 2 proof points higher at 94 and 1 year younger at 21. And this, it's like going from dusty butterscotch to modern pastry whiskey, you know, with so much sweet oak. 0 butterscotch on this, but sweet oak and every kind of dessert thing you could think of. And it smells way, way stronger on the nose, way more concentrated, which is something I mentioned in the review of this Elijah Craig 21. At 94 proof, it really smells and drinks more like 100, which is what people are going to want from this, considering the price. What's up, Nancy? Wow, I paid $1,500. Nancy paid $1,500 for an 1893 vintage. See, that's crazy that you can get an Armagnac for that price. Oh, I missed your first comment, Nancy. Congrats, Cam, on being a new dad. Hope you're managing. We're getting there. We're figuring this out. I'm on 4 hours right now, which is kind of better than I thought. All right, let's taste the Elijah Craig. Yeah, I mean, the problem is the Elijah Craig's a better whiskey. But it's not, it's like the flavor profile. If you want something that tastes like a literal 1980s dusty whiskey, then okay. Then you want the Stitzel, even though the proof is much lower and it feels much lower and it drinks flat. Fine, you're going to want that. But the real better whiskey out of these two, like if I was doing a barrel pick and you had to just say which one is objectively the better whiskey, it's the Elijah Craig for me. Just because it's concentrated, it drinks full. It's a great representation of like super sweet modern old whiskey. I don't know, but the Blade and Bow's cool. It's fun. So yeah, they'll both be in the sample packs. Whoever wins that tonight can do this comparison too. Oh man, I'll grab the 30. Which, by the way, best bottle design on the market. Not even close. Super heavy. Just so, you know, beautiful and geometric. I love this thing. This is 109 proof, so it's 17 proof points higher than the 22 year. And it, you know, could be from the same source. I might do something sacrilegious here and throw some water in the 30 just to see if it gets down to a, you know, something approximating the 22 as far as like drinking experience and, you know, profile. Like, is it going to fall apart into that profile if you add water to it? I'm not sure. Yeah, the 30. The 30 makes the 22 seem silly, which is so funny. When are you getting a gold foil? That should be on the way. I should have 2 on the way. I bought them in these bundles from this website. Sounds sketchy, but you know, I would expect them to ship kind of any day at this point. So yeah, that's the reason. At this point, I could have gotten one at a lower price on secondary than what I paid from this website with these bundled bottles. I would have rather just bought it on secondary and waited a couple weeks so I would have the bottle than hold out for like whatever I'm waiting on right now, you know? Joe, of course I'm not there, and he pulls out the 30. It's okay, Joe. There's Couple more of them over there for you. All right, 30. It's so much oak. I still don't think the 30's over oaked. But you gotta like wood varnish and some serious antique notes on that. And it is medicinal. You know, if you don't like medicinal, you're not gonna get into that. Let me throw a little water in it just for fun. Let's see if it falls into that 22 kind of realm, or if it maintains its profile. And it's also probably a different lot of barrels, because these were like 160 proof before they brought it down to 109. Whereas I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the 22. But I am considering reaching out to Nicole Austin from Diageo, because the stuff she's doing, and obviously she has such incredible stocks of whiskey across every Diageo distillery to work with, but the stuff that she's been doing, putting out the Blade & Bow 30, cast strength Blade & Bow 30's coming, Stitzel Reserve 31, Stitzel 24. Yeah, like they're limited, they're really expensive bottles. The Bullet 20-year rye that's coming out. There's a new Blade & Bow coming actually too, this Solera thing where they've finished it in antique or vintage vintage used bourbon barrels, something like that. That's a new Blade & Bow product that's going to be on the way. Like, I just think a lot of the stuff that Nicole Austin is doing feels like it's happening all at once across the different brands, and it's kind of cool. And I would love to get her on a stream and talk about it. And you know, I have a lot of the bottles, not all of these crazy ones, but I have probably half of them. And to kind of go through that with her would be neat. Nancy, do you know Nicole? My buddy was at Stitzel the other day with her and said that she's awesome. I've never heard anyone speak highly of Diageo. True. As a, you know, multinational conglomerate, that is 100% probably the case. But that doesn't mean the people working there aren't good, and also that the whiskey's not good. It doesn't mean those things. And also, those people might be the ones pushing for these cool projects to happen, even if maybe the higher-ups don't want it. I mean, we can only speculate. Cam, if Joe comes over, will you compensate? And yeah, if he showed up right now, he could bottle chug the rest of this Blade & Bow 30 if he wanted. Matt, thank you, bro. I got you. Matt SC3 in for 4. Hi, Cam. What's up, Matt? If you get a hold of her, ask for another release of Oban 20. Oh, man. I was bidding on an Oban 21 cast strength, but it went so high the other day on Unicorn that I couldn't stay with it. If you were bidding on that against me, then you paid too much money for it. I gave up. After it was like over $1,000 after fees, I'm like, I got to be out on this because you can get it other places for that much. Joe said the Solera is 12 years and 65 SRP. What? And the proof was over 100, I think, Joe. If I remember, when my buddy sent me a picture, he was drinking it at Stitzel. All right, let's do this 30 comparison. Watered down 30. Which is probably pretty darn close now to 92 proof of the 22. No, it's just totally different whiskey. It's like 1980s butterscotch for the 22 versus almost Madeira-like from the 30 with the amount of... It's like it's turned into raisins and like cranberry almost. So, I don't know. I don't think you can taste one and even anticipate what the other one's going to taste like. They're just too different. 100 proof, man. Joe, that sounds like a recipe for success, actually. But it, you know, it depends what the whiskey is in these. Depends on what the whiskey is in there, you know, because like they're sourcing. That's not their own distillate. So where's that coming from and what's the flavor profile? Drums and Drams and Joe. Yes, Slad. All right, I'm going to leave that 22 out because that is fun to drink. Let's keep moving. Joe, I'm going to grab a couple Venmos. While we're in here. Let's see. Interestingly enough, I don't know her personally, but her first mentor was Master Distiller Dave Pickerel, who was a good friend of mine. Okay. I did not know that. Nancy, I feel like you should get together. Like, as long as there's no, I don't know about industry rivalry, not personally. I mean, for the different brands you've worked for, I don't know if any of that exists. But if it doesn't, you should. I would love to see you two in conversation. You mentioned, I wonder if she blends though, or if she just distills. But I think, now her title, it's a weird title now. It's a longer one, like Master of Liquid or something. You mentioned Unicorn. What other sites you have luck getting bottles from? Unicorn is when I'm just doing like auctions for scotches or something a lot of the time, because we don't get good scotch in Ohio, you know, like crazy weird stuff. We don't get a lot of that. And then it's just kind of random sites, secondary, whatever. Oh, Joe said ready for Venmo, just read them. There we go. All right, Sam Thorner is in for 4 entries. Said congrats for tacos and diapers. Thank you, Sam. Dude, this crazy Joe's doing this. Ben Arrington in for 5. Said congrats and good luck. All right, thank you, Ben. Jeremy White, Mr. Sladvan, 20 entries, $100 super chat. He said, congratulations. Thanks, Slad. People are not appreciating Barrel 13 enough. It's sad. Larry Batterson, in for 2, with tacos and baby bottle emojis. There we go. Gardner Reese, and guys, if Joe misspells any of these, I'm reading them and he's typing them in. So I apologize if you see it at the end and your name's misspelled. Gardner Reese in for 1 said giveaway. Thank you. Amy, I don't know if you were here the other day when I thanked you for the blanket that you sent. You said something in the chat, and then I said something, and then I didn't see you again in the chat. And I was like, oh, I don't know if she was here. So anyways, I just wanted to say thank you again, Amy, for that blanket. In for 4, Amy Bohm said, cheers, Dad. Glad the fam is well and hope you're getting some sleep. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for the super chats and the support. Okay. Next up, where are we going to go? Let's do this. Let's do this. Yes. New Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Rye. I also have the previous 2 batches just out of frame, and the Rittenhouse 250th 10-year bottled in bond. So this is going to be 100 proof. The new batch of Elijah Craig Rye is 115.6, so we're in the lower proof range. I think this seems to be like what they're trying to do with the ryes, is maybe pull these barrels from lower floors. 10-year, 8-month. Not a bad age statement. 10-year, 8-month. Slad says, oh my God. Nancy, I currently have 17 different Magnus cigar blends on my shelf, and I love your work. That's awesome. Darth Vader was fun, but there were a couple in the 60s. I think 61 and 66. Some of those were killer. And then, of course, the Drummer's Dram batch. I've got that over there on the shelf. I had to back that one up. That was so cool when Nancy did the naming after, you know, different channels and Instagram pages and stuff like that. That was a good idea. Larry Irving. Congrats on your newborn and welcome to fatherhood. Cheers. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour the very first A925 Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Rye, because the proof is lower, kind of related to this most recent batch. I'm not gonna pour A126 yet, just because I have a feeling A126 with that higher proof is gonna be vastly different. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. Let's pour it. Who cares? Let's just pour it. Even Nancy said good God to Jeremy. That's pretty funny. All right. Good Bottle Auctions is a good one as well, but they only do one a month. I'll have to check that out. She both distills and blends. Okay, that's cool. Did you crack anything on Father's Day as a father? No, I didn't drink until last night. That was my first pour since the baby. Sad Machine, congrats. Looking great for your first week. Thank you. It's going to go downhill from here. We do have a bottle that we're going to pop for the baby being born. Sarah's going to pop it with me. probably maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. It's going to be 1994 Macallan 18. So that's my birth year. It's the only bottle in this entire house, except for one other that we're going to crack on stream tonight. It's the only bottle that is not open in this house. I mean, I have sealed backups, but I have an open version of every one of those things in the house, except for this, which is Forgate Eagle Thief. I'm going to crack this for my fun tonight. And then tomorrow or whenever, Sarah and I are going to crack that 94 Macallan 18, which is back when those barrels at Macallan, the sherry casks, were top notch. Nowadays, they're just these, you know, seemingly shitty seasoned casks. Okay, excuse me. Let's get into the Elijah Craig first. So again, 10-year, 8-month, 115.6, B526. All right. First thing on the nose, combination of gingerbread, which is a note that I like, and there's something herbal in here that I can't place. I don't know. There's not dill. Gingerbread and something a little herbal. If I say brown sugar, that's so redundant when I'm talking about gingerbread. I mean, that's really all this is. It's not particularly complex. Kind of a one-note thing. So let's taste it. Maybe there's more to it. There's actually quite a bit of rye, like quite a bit of spice to this for only 115 proof. I'll just go ahead and say, you know, before I keep talking about it, there are zero special things about this whiskey. I think the Elijah Craig line, you know, for better or worse, has now turned into this, like, what is the minimum good that we can produce and still, you know, reasonably ask this price for the bottle. That is what I feel like we've turned into. We actually do that like in orchestra too, because this is a totally off-topic comparison, but like many times when I'm playing with the orchestra, we have one rehearsal and a show the same day. Like you just run things down. You are sight reading a lot of the time, or, you know, it's the second time you've seen a chart. You played it once for 10 minutes at your house. You're like, I'll just do it on the gig. And like at that point, you don't go into the show feeling comfy. You just go into the show feeling comfy enough just to get through the show and produce a product that is like a minimum good. And that's the one thing about like my industry that drives me crazy. It's rare to see somebody actually put in real hours, because from an organizational standpoint, financially, you can't. Like every rehearsal you have, you're paying so much money to those musicians or whoever's on stage because you have 70 people on stage. You know, think about the price that carries. And so I feel like that is where we've gotten to with Elijah Craig barrel proof, rye and bourbon. It's like, what is the minimum acceptable release that we can put out each time? Let that rip. Put it into the market. This is good. Like I actually think it's a very drinkable Kentucky rye that has maybe actually a little more spice than you would expect from a Kentucky rye. Yeah, but it's very simple. Like the nose particularly is very simple. That is just gingerbread. I'm getting a little bit of a vanilla thing in here too, but it's background. Yeah. Maybe some maybe some orange, some sort of citrus, like orange, almost like a floral orange thing in here. It's good. It ain't like, you know, I'm not feeling like I need to run out and grab this bottle after tasting it. So let me put it next to the A925. I'm going to be curious. All right, Carrie Kingery, I got you in for one. Says diaper maxing. Oh, no. No. Get out of here with any reference to clavicular, please. Okay. On to A925 comparison. So we're dropping in proof from 115.6 down to 108, which was, again, a big complaint about A925. But the age is 12 years, 3 months. I poo-pooed this bottle a lot last year. I think rightfully so, because we just felt like the inaugural ECBP Rye needed to be this bombastic thing, and they went the total opposite direction. Nancy said, Cam, a huge congratulations, and I'm thrilled to see your growing family. Dinner is ready here on the West Coast as a mediocre drummer to a professional. Big cheers. Cheers, Nancy. Cheers. Good to see you tonight. Interesting. I mean, I'm really talking a lot tonight about tea notes, and I think that's because the things that I've referenced with those notes have generally been ryes this evening. The malted rye, these two Elijah Craig ryes. I think, for me, A925 is much more of a green tea / oaky / kind of caramel rye. And the new one, B526, is that gingerbread. And you know what? In comparison, like next to the A925, I actually think that the new one, you could convince me, has almost a little bit of a cola-y, root beery thing. Very slight, very minor. But that's not something that I typically get on these. So that's unique, if nothing else, on the new one. Let's taste A925. That, to me, it's not exciting, but it is very sweet oak. And so, even though, again, I've poo-pooed that bottle a lot, not as spicy as the new one, much shorter finish because of that lower proof and lack of spice. But I do like this. It's a little more sophisticated on the A925. And B526 ain't bad, you know. Let me taste, because it has so much spice for 115. Let me taste A126 now. So this one is 11 years, 11 months, 120.4 proof. Highest proof, second highest age. Let's see. Jeremy H. Joe, if you're on the sheet. Jeremy H with 8 entries. Thank you, Jeremy. Said, congrats, Dad. Gonna be a hell of a ride. Thank you, man. Now this one, A126. Jeremy, what are you sipping tonight, man? A126 is the one that everybody's kind of gone crazy over. They really like this bottle. When I first cracked it, I was not really feeling it. I just thought it was... It has actually the least personality on the nose. Yeah. It's a little more ethanol and spice driven than the other two. Maybe that's what happens when their ryes get higher proof. Maybe that's why they're keeping the other ones low. I don't know. Yeah, but it drinks great. That's just when people say bourbon drinkers rye, that's the kind of thing. The way that it just carries on the palate, it's full of flavor, not overly green. Yeah, so that's the best palate on all of them, best drinking experience. I think my favorite profile out of all of them actually is A925 because I just like the oakiness, the sweet oak base that has. And then just like a good mid-range, everyday sort of rye at 115, like the new one. Are they all worth their $70 or whatever? Yeah, you know. But like, do I feel like I need to run out and grab any of these 3 bottles? No, I just think life is more exciting in this price range or even up to $100. Thinking about rye whiskeys, maybe just going to your local store or a single barrel club and finding a cool barrel pick as opposed to just picking these up until these batches get a little more fireworks. Oh, you guys are watching the World Cup. Yeah, sorry to stream over that. 1-0 USA. Nice. I will agree with this. They are better than the bourbons have been recently. I think I would agree with that. Dude, C925 was god awful. That was I couldn't even believe they released that bourbon. And what a way to go out before the hiatus. C925 is the last taste we have in our mouth. That sucks. A126 slaps. It doesn't do anything for me. It is good for what these are, but I would never find myself wanting to reach for this bottle. I know someone's going to say, oh, you know, bougie, whatever, look at the bottles on the table. Like, I get that criticism, but I don't know. I don't think that's really the case with why I'm critical of these. Now shitting on new ECBP Rye. It's actually not bad. The new one is not bad. It drinks overproof with its spice in the finish. And I kind of like, I like the simplicity because I don't have to think about this. I just want gingerbread, touch of cola, touch of vanilla. I'm gonna drink this rye. It's predictable and it's solid. Of any of these, that is the most like what you see is what you get kind of thing. A925 mint tea note for sure. Yeah. Let's see. Has anyone else talked about this in here? Like, what are people saying about this? Minimum good is a hilarious way to put it, but yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it is. It's what I think about now with these things. I'm halfway through my A126, but it either turned with more air or I got bored of it. I've almost dumped it a couple times. Dang, Andy, that's a little harsh, dude. It just, like, the nose is really where I'm like, I'm not getting anything. And then the palate is solid. A126, though, does have quite a bit of effervescence. So let's move away from the Elijah Craigs now. We're going to drop in proof, maintaining a 10-year age statement, bottled in bond, though, so this is all from a single distillation season. To me, what that means is like we're just getting a snapshot, a moment in time of a run of barrels, you know, from one particular, distillation season. Price point on this, $100, I think. So listen, the nose on the Rittenhouse, it is lower proof, but the sweetness it's just way better, and it's way different. I don't know if it's the water or if it's barrel selection. Have there been any communications from Heaven Hill on why we don't have ECBP? Not that I've seen. Jeremy said Rittenhouse was okay in my opinion. Oh man, sorry, I just had a moment. I smelled grape Laffy Taffy and it just locked me in for a second. What I love about this Rittenhouse is the profile. I don't think I'm gonna love the drinking experience. We'll see. I can't imagine I'm gonna love this at 100 proof. I think I remember it being kind of flat, but the profile is awesome because it's so damn sweet. It's the fluffiest vanilla note. It's like whipped. It's a cool whip, and grape Laffy Taffy, and like kind of strawberry cream or something. And it's silky on the palate. It's kind of flat too, which is a criticism, but there's something about this that I just really like. It's crushable. Doesn't really taste like a rye at all. Not nearly as much as these Elijah Craigs. And even those don't, they don't give you too much rye. This is easily mistakable for a bourbon, I think, this Rittenhouse. This is a cool bottling. I wish if it was 110 proof, I think it'd be a little better. I think this has had so much water added to it that we've now started to hit that point where it's falling apart. So if you told me that these barrels were like 130 proof before they were proofed down, I would believe that you had to add enough water to get 30 proof points off the top, at which point the whiskey is starting to come apart. Noah, thanks, man. In for 4 entries. Said, congrats, my son was just born on the 19th. Cheers to being... Yeah, man, cheers. Heck yeah. At Heaven Hill Distillery last week for tasting and bottle your own, they had a barrel proof rye, 132 proof. Are they still bottling that batch? But they had a top floor aged barrel proof bourbon. Ooh, okay. I would have probably taken the bourbon. If they told me top floor aged 136, I would have taken that. Amy said, I hope Heaven Hill's aging more stock before releasing new ECBP, maybe get themselves back to form. Isn't it crazy, Amy, to think about the fall off that happened from 2020 to now? Even 2020 to 2021. If any of you guys were drinking bourbon back then, I know Amy was. I'll still never forget the C917 sample in that blind, that tobacco. I love that note in that batch. But if you guys were around, like, again, many people that are watching the YouTube channels right now got into it in 23, 24, 25. In 2020, we all lamented the fall off when A121 hit. We were like, what is, like, this is not the same stuff. Then when B521 hit, that's when everybody was like, we're out. This is not good. I think maybe the bourbon junkies were the only ones on B521 that were like, yeah, we like this. And I'll give Dan shit for that if that's true. Gotta double check. But I just remember us being so like pissed about the fall off of ECBP. And then you get to nowadays and people look at the 21 batches like they were, like that's their version of our 2018 batches when we were drinking in 2020. I just think it's funny, like we all look back a couple years whenever we started in whiskey and have these comparisons that stick in our heads. But I can't wrap my head around what happened in 20 to 21, let alone 20 to 26 now, or 25. It's crazy. I love the Rittenhouse. I don't know why. It's more like, that should be a $70 bottle, but damn, I like it. It's so flawed on the way it drinks, but it does something for me. It has personality and a sweetness that is unusual and uncharacteristic. So I think that's going to be one where I'm going to say that, and I'll get a couple comments from people for sure that are going to say, you don't know what you're talking about, and they have a point on this one. It's my soft spot. Congrats, Cam. Great live. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it, man. 17 through 19, Terry, was absolutely the golden age. 2020, listen, A120, underrated batch. It was very hot, but very good. No, and system trend, I'm not going to disagree with that. The 21 and 22s, now going back in time, are so much better than the modern stuff. Modern, you know what I mean. Recent. C919 is so good. You could just throw something. You could line all those batches up, 17 to 20, and just throw a piece of paper over there. Whichever one it hits, you're going to drink it and you're going to be happy. You can be as critical as you want of those batches. Even B519, what is it, 120, or what, it was like one of the lowest proofs at the time. Looking back, that's a great batch. Garrett says, Cam, I know you tasted the Heaven Hill 22 extensively, but what is your cap on secondary for it? Listen, I think the going rate on secondary is appropriate for the bottle, considering other things in the market. So if you shelled out $625 for it, you're not going to be mad. You know? Is it ever going to drop below that? No, probably not at this point. Not unless next year they release Heaven Hill 23 or, Heaven Hill 16, but that is like remarkably better than that, then that value would fall. But if you're on secondary, you're not going to get it cheaper than the current price. I just don't see it going down. I might eat my words on that. What did Amy say? Cam, Drums and Drams, throw a sample pack of 18 to 20 ECBP Oh, really? Might not be all, but there are several. Hell yeah. Thank you, Amy. Guys, shout out to Amy. Tell her thank you in the chat. That's awesome. I'm going to, you know what? Just for the occasion, Amy, we're going to pop this bottle of Eagle Thief. I hope this is as good as I remember. And if you guys don't know what this is, I don't really know what it is either. I just have tasted it twice at events. And so probably someone in here Google it and throw some info in the chat. I think it was finished in a toasted barrel, so it makes no sense that I like it as much as I do. And who knows, right now, when I'm not hammered at an event, at a bottle share, maybe I'm not going to like it that much. But at least my curiosity will be, oh, fucking A. That's gone. Maybe we won't be enjoying this tonight. Oh! Come on now. Okay. We'll get back to that. Thanks, Amy. Joe, you got to get I before E except after C, man, on the Eagle Thief. Now, no, oh my God, he said not tasting. Joe is an asshole. I love Joe doing this. Yeah, but if you got the good C923 laser coat, exactly, Mike. I'm so confused by the Russell's 13 reviews. I'm half bottle in. We'll probably go to that next. No, we'll probably do the little book and Booker's next. It's so off profile for turkey. Well, I'm excited to get to it. Amy, thank you for that. Let me write that down right here. Amy sample pack. So we'll have 4 giveaway winners now. 3 will be the sample pack I'm giving away. 1 will be the ECBP sample pack that Amy's going to give away. And then I'll link everybody up at the end. You'll email me. I'll send your address to Amy. She'll send you samples. Just like the old days. People throwing in giveaway prizes. That was like so, 2021, 2022 Whiskey Tube. Everyone's like, throw in this, throw in that. That was always a lot of fun. Yeah, no, Larry, I definitely have a corkscrew, but this is so shallow what's left in here that I'm a little concerned I'm going to just push it in and then I'm going to want to go strain it immediately. I mean, I'll try it. I'll go get the corkscrew, but I don't think it's going to be very successful, if I'm being honest. It is so strange to think that I could walk up 2 flights of stairs and there's a little human up there that I have known for 5 days. Very weird. Okay. Realistically, I should toothpick this thing. All right, this would be amazing if this worked out. It's pretty sturdy and pretty together right now, what's left. Oh no. I went in at an angle. For a second, I thought it was on purpose, but now I'm regretting my decision. Oh man. Oh, success. The clapping. Look at that. There's definitely a lot of cork stuck to this, which is why it broke. But it's okay. I'll drink a little cork and I'll be okay. So I don't know. Yeah, I definitely need to find a replacement cork down here. Probably pull it from like... I wonder if an Eagle Rare cork would fit. I'm sure it... Yeah. I'll just go find an extra Eagle Rare cork somewhere. Som Cam. We made it. All right. Little Eagle Thief. Joe, thank you for switching the I and E. So this thing is 122.7. 10 years initial, 2 years, I think, in toasted. And yeah, charity bottle, very small release years ago. Let's see what it's all about. I remember loving this thing. It smells great. And the concentration's off the charts. It's so fruity. It doesn't smell toasted at all. Like usually toasted, you think of that marshmallowy, very spicy buttercream note. This has none of that. It's just, it has only amplified and concentrated the flavors that were already seemingly in here, if this is Barton. Yeah, I remember why I like it. There's so much flavor in this. What a great celebratory pour. This is the celebration pour of the night, and then we're going to keep going. Then it's back to work. Everything after this is going to taste thin. That is the thickest 122 proof. God, Joe, if you were here, dude, you would love this. It's, you know what it also has, though, that I never really remember picking up? There's a little watermelon, but like, it's so in the background that it's not offensive. Because watermelon is a note on whiskey that I would say 95% of the time, I hate that note. 5% of the time, it works. It works here, because it's just in the background. Yeah, I paid, someone tagged me on secondary, the guy that was selling this the other day, because I think he saw me comment on one. You never see this bottle pop up. And he tagged me on his own post selling it, and I think it was like $5.25. I was like, screw it. There's so few of these bottles out there. I'll do it. Joe said he's going to take notes. Oh, so good. On pours he's owed. That is damn good bourbon. That is like, that's in the 90s for me. If I rated that right now, it's probably 90, 91. Like, it's in that range. It is just damn good whiskey. Forgate knew what they were doing with a lot of finishes. I'm not sure if they're still around because they seemingly like discount all their shit all at once, and then somehow they pop back up and they have a new product. And it's like, wait, are they still a thing? Do they still exist? This is a great call, Jordan. Buff Turkey Provenance 14 has a watermelon strawberry. So I'm not a big Buff Turkey fan. We picked 4 barrels, and it was always that we picked one that I felt was more on profile and very sweet, and then one that was more spicy and maybe more off profile. I preferred the higher proof, off profile, less watermelon, you know. I preferred those barrels over the quintessential strawberry and watermelon candy barrels. 210.9. Well, yeah, what's up? Get as much sleep as you can. Thank you. We're working on it. Congrats, new dad. Thank you, Mitch. Sorry I missed that. I think Joe must have snagged that one. Where is that? Did I miss that way up there? I did. I'm so sorry, Mitch. Thanks, Joe, for snagging it. If I ever miss your super chat, throw in some all caps comments afterwards and I'll get it. Brings up a question, Cam. If you walked into a store that has some older stuff, what bottle would you be most excited at MSRP from? Oh man, you got to set some parameters for me on that. You got to set some parameters. How many years ago? Are you talking like reasonable, like 5 years ago? Or are you talking like 25 years ago? Right now I'm pouring Little Book 10, Booker's 2026-01. I have not purchased a Booker's in I don't know how many years. And I don't have any in the house anymore. Except for a one that my friend Josh gave me, which I think is Country Ham. But I don't even know where it is anymore. After the move, it's somewhere amidst all the other bourbons on these shelves. Sleep is overrated. Coming from Mike G. Whiskey habit, you got to set some parameters for me on that question, or my indecisiveness will flounder and I will stall the stream for 15 minutes. Slat, he wanted to say 89 but stopped himself. Slat, listen, Jeremy, I'm trying to expand the ratings range because I'm stuck in a pocket right now. Have you tried this, Jeremy? Eagle Thief? Oh, man. It's crazy that that's 10-year Barton in a toasted barrel. Can't believe it. Amy, where else are you going to get this compelling content? Yeah. Oh, is Darrell here? Darrell, sorry I missed you, bro. Oh, Eagle Thief is worth finding a corkscrew for. Yes. Darrell was there when we tasted it. Several years in a row. Got to be an old Forgate with that natural cork. Yes. That's good to see you, Darrell. Beam is going to be super nutty after I know, Jeremy. That's exactly like, not only is everything going to taste watery and not as concentrated, but the nuttiness is going to... Yeah. I gotta drink something else. And I need to throw a cork in that now. You know what I end up doing? I end up grabbing a cork from a bottle because I don't have a bunch of saved corks. So I just grab one from a bottle that I'm just gonna drain pour. Kind of helps thin the collection a little bit. It is a little bit of a shame, but you gotta do it sometimes. Okay, one sec. Let me see if an Evernorth cork would work. Yeah. Yeah, I'll use an Evernorth cork from one of the barrel samples. So this is barrel 12 rye that we did. It's gonna go corkless until I can find it one, but I wanna get this Forgate corked up. Okay, I'll taste the Elijah Craig Rye just to get back into the swing of things here. No wine stoppers? Are you talking about the vacuum things? If so, I've tasted bottles that have been sealed with those vacuum things, and they taste chemical and weird. And I mean, it's like a rubber stopper on the top, and I've always just felt like that is going to affect the liquid, if that's what you're talking about. You know, the new ECBP Rye might actually be better than the A925. Anyways, Jeb is bricked up right now. The Little Book neck pour wasn't that great, opened up better, but I don't think it was anything that special, says Krista. All right, let's see. Dickel, look for the Dickel bottles. Amy, yeah. No, that'll taint the whiskey. It'll seep back in from the cork somehow. Let's go to the Booker's 2601. 129.1 proof. 7 years, 2 months, 15 days. It's called Big Easy Batch. And I think, if I remember, Jason liked this, and then a bunch of friends that I've had like this. A bunch of friends that I've had, a bunch of friends that I have. On the nose, it says quintessential Booker's right now for me, but it's not dry peanut. It's a little bit sweeter. So it's still got a bunch of cinnamon and spice to it. Let me taste it. Okay, I like that. Let me grab something to compare it to. What should I compare that to? Maybe Booker's Reserves 24? Or is that not a great comparison? This is good. Like, this is a Booker's where I'm like, I would buy that. Now, I wish it was $80 or $70. But this is not, I don't have that feeling when I drink this of like, oh my God, I don't want to drink this anymore. Still tastes like 7-year whiskey, but it's good. It's not as nutty. All right, let's see. If you think finished whiskeys are a bad, do you think finished whiskeys are a bad trend? And maybe 10 years, will we not see as much? And current finishes would then be prized. If so, which would be the most prized finished whiskeys of this decade? I don't see that trend going away because there's such a glut of inventory on the market that you're going to have just so many people thinking they can jump in and make a quick buck. We've already seen this all over the place. And things are correcting right now. That still is not preventing brands from jumping in. Because barrel prices, you can get a barrel for like $1,000, $800, $1,200. You can get really, really cheap barrels right now and get 180 bottles out of those barrels. And so much of it's just bad young whiskey that you're going to throw it in a finishing barrel and try to you know, add some flavor and throw it on the market for whatever. So I don't think finishes are going to go away, but I do think some of the most prized finishes, like the one that sticks in my mind, let me give you 2 Bardstown products. In the early days of Bardstown, they had the square bottles, like the rectangular wide ones. I don't have any of those with me anymore. There was a Muscat Mistel finish, and then there was an American brandy finish. Both of those were great, but they were produced in such limited quantities, and secondary is so absurdly high that those will never take off on the secondary market. They're just untenable, especially the Mistel finish. It was like a 94 proofer, very cool dessert whiskey. It's not worth whatever people are going to ask for it. Now that said, I've got my Bardstown lineup here, and I'm missing one very important bottle out of this lineup, which I have sealed. So to me, the one that's going to go down in history, besides a lot of Nancy's cigar blends, and that'll depend on what your flavor profile is. To me, it's that batch range of like whatever it was, 15 up to like 90 something when the Barton was being used. That was my favorite run. I've never tasted the really early batches where it was MGP only with the crazy high quality MGP. Haven't tasted those. But I think some of Nancy's batches would go down. Bardstown Chateau de la Bade, also Armagnac finished. I still think is underappreciated. It's not a perfect whiskey. Now this is one of those like we're talking about from Bardstown that was such a small release that it's untenable to get your hands on at the... People ask $1,500 for this, $2,000 for this. This is another Mistel finish, then put into a double American oak. It's good. It's not worth that money. Never gonna catch on unless you're a diehard collector. Same thing with that Goodwood honey ale finish right there. The one that I think is sorely underrated, again talking Bardstown, because they were so damn good at doing finishes. Nowadays they are not. The Bardstown fall off of quality needs to be studied, and I love Bardstown, but the finishing stuff, it is all over finished there now. It is not doing great. The apple brandy finish that they did, far and away some of the best MGP from that time frame, because the apple brandy just worked with it. And then, you know what? I think it's funny to go back to this, but some of the things that Forgate did, incredible. Jim Beam Distiller's Masterpiece, I actually thought was pretty good. It's been many years since I've tasted it. And then I'd have to sit and rack my brain about the other stuff. But that's kind of like whatever sticks out in my mind. Also, thanks for recommending the Bradshaw 13-year bottle from the collection. It's outstanding. Got my bottle last week. Oh, Adam is never going to let me live this down. Adam is the head of the collection. Well, really, it's Austin now, but Austin usurped Adam. Anyways, Adam is going to love that you said that. That gives me no joy. I'm just kidding. It's a great pick. The Dark Arts, too. So the Dark Arts thing, for me, though, is like my favorite Dark Arts finishes are one-off single barrels, which could never gain that notoriety because there's only 100, 200 bottles of those. But like the Armagnac finish that we split between Bourbon Outfitter, Drums and Drams, and the mashup, which was called Barrel Daddy, that is an all-time finished whiskey for me. It's not perfect, but it's just got this profile that I love. Wild that a honey finish can be worth... Yeah, Hobo Gladiator. That bottle, if you're talking about the Goodwood, it's not even that good. I cracked it open. It was like a dream bottle for me. When I cracked it open, I was like, I could sell this right now. Belle Meade. Ooh, good call, Belle Meade. I forgot about Belle Meade. Booker's 2601, not as good as KC Blenders. I know Blenders is older, lower proof, and way more available, though. So, excuse me, sorry. All right, we're back. Jack Daniel's 2022 Toasted Rye is an all-timer. I got to think about this, Brett. 2022 Toasted Rye. Was that the twice barreled rye? Is that what they called it? I'm trying to remember these Jack releases. Bellmead Honey would have to be one of the most. Dude, I never ended up trying the Bellmead Honey. And then there was a proof point of that was released, I think it was 106, that everybody tried to sell, and people were like, it's not as good as whatever the previous one was. Oh, Brett, great call. Guys, this bottle, still underappreciated. 2017 Michter's Toasted Rye, epic. Epic, epic, epic. It does not taste anything like that nowadays. Okay, we're getting off topic. Actually, we're just having fun. If you could reverse the price hikes over the last few years on either Booker's or Blanton's, which would you choose? Booker's. Yeah. Because I think Booker's has more potential to be good whiskey. Because it's a blend. It's, you know, it's higher proof. I like the marketing and the packaging. Blanton's now, because they've just accepted that they're going to put probably 5 and 6 year barrels in there, the quality of Blanton's sucks. But I also still think that it's not, like, what is Blanton's now, $80? Fine, $80, you know? Booker's is $100. I would like to see Booker's come down to earth and be more accessible, because then I think, like, you get a good batch like this and you say, oh, it's $80 now. It's no longer 100. Like, I'm a buyer, you know, as a consumer. As a reviewer, I'm a buyer just because I want to get the bottle and taste it. I like this Booker's. I mean, let's go to the little book and see. It's getting fruitier too. I don't know what the fruit note is. It's almost kind of like berry, which is not something you associate with Booker's. Yeah, it's like between Luxardo cherry and blueberry. We're in that realm, which Booker's does not usually go there. Dude. All right, Lawrence Chang. Lawrence Chang is in for 5 entries. Said congrats again. Hope Madeline also is a vanilla. So Lawrence always says team vanilla because we like vanilla notes in our whiskey. He said Hope Madeline also is a vanilla enjoyer to health and happiness. Thank you, man. Thanks, Lawrence. All right, and then Guy, Mr. Guy Citarella, in for 20 entries, says, hey, Pops. Oh, my God, dude, don't say that. Congrats and cheers to the new edition. Guy, thanks, dude. Cheers. Actually, let me say that with the little book that I need to take a look at. We'll talk about the breakdown in a second, but I just want to get into it. Proof, 122.6. It's got like some toasted and sherry finished stuff blended in, but there's also, you know, older whiskey in there too. Is it all bourbon? It's all bourbon. Okay. Yeah, definitely smells older on the nose than the Booker's, which is nice. It's more, there's more of a rounded oak note to it. Rounded, older. You're starting to get into the beam leather, but not quite as much. Even as like a Knob Creek 12, it doesn't have that much leather. But it's like 50% of the amount of leather in Knob Creek 12, let's just say, is in here. So it is just rounder overall. There is, however, like, there is a youthful, I've said this, you know, many times recently on certain products, there's a sawdusty element to this. And I know there's 4-year like toasted finished in here, probably coming from that. All right, let's taste it. It's actually pretty good. I think the sherry finish that they threw in here really works. There's like a body to the whiskey on the palate that you do not associate with, you know, younger, spicy Jim Beam cast strength bourbon. You have the 4-year beam finished in sherry and toasted bourbon. The toasted and the age, I think, if I had to pinpoint contributing factors, the toasted element and the fact that it's 4 years old, I think, is hurting this blend, but the sherry finish is helping this blend. So it's like you take the good with the bad. And the rest of it is like a pretty well-balanced Jim Beam mid-age profile with a great, like, viscous palate. I am shocked I like this. I don't love it, but that's because there's that little bit of youthful thing in here. Like, right away, you recognize this extra juicy red fruit note that just spreads across your palate slowly. Like, right now, it's still weighted on my tongue. That's pretty good. Okay, cool. I'm happy to... I mean, listen, are both of these bottles too expensive? Yes. These are the first... It's the first Booker's and the first little book that I'm like, I want to go and buy that bottle. Quick comparison. Need another glass. We're getting into it now. Need to be responsible. Hour and 30. All right. How many more pours to go? Oh my God, we still have the Russells and Jason's DrumKey. All right. Daryl, I got you in here from Venmo. In for one. Said Samp. Thank you, man. Guys, thank you for the super chats tonight. I appreciate you. Let's do this to keep things like really nice and easy. At 10:50, in the next 9 minutes, let's just go ahead and wrap super chats up. I appreciate all the support. I would just like to not... I don't want to worry about them too much anymore. I don't want Joe to have to worry about them. And you guys have been generous enough, you know. So if you're going to get any last minute super chats in, I'm not encouraging you to do it. I'm just letting you know. We'll close it at 10:50. I'll take the banner off the screen and we'll wrap that up. Frankie, thank you, man. And for two, said H2O, you're a dad now. Dude, you're right. I've had no water tonight. Good thing I had a big dinner. Stone Cold, what's up, man? Package on the way. Couple extra goodies for baby girl and mama bear. Oh, nice. Thanks, man. I can't wait to try that. I cannot wait to try that sample. And I'm sure whatever you're sending is going to be much appreciated, man. That whole thing that people talk about, you know, with like, you know, after you get home, you give birth, you go home, people like let people help you. That is so true. It really is. We're finding that out, I think, every day a little bit more. Had a pour of the mashup Evernorth Rye tonight, and it was out of this world. I bet it was. That's a good match. Kenny picking and Sagamore Kelvin aged rye at Evernorth. Okay, scrolling way down now. Benny's had a sale on Booker's last week for $69. Yeah, I'm a buyer all day at that price. The best beam always hits that raspberry note. Yeah, that's a good call, but I think like in the case of this new little book, it really is that sherry finish that's adding that note. What's up with Glock? Sorry I've been gone, was in the hospital. I hope you're okay, man. You don't have to say what's going on, but I hope you're good. Amy, damn it, Cam 17 mixers toasted rye. I knocked over. Oh, Amy, do you have a backup? Or was that your one and done? Thank you, Glocks, for the congrats, man. Adding that to the list. Joe, what were you adding to the list? That was 8 minutes ago. Bellmead Honey, highest proof. Okay. Booker's is 129 locally, says Terry. Yeah, no way. No way I'm paying that. I'd pay that for the reserves. From 24, that reserves. That was a great bottle. Okay. That Altschuler third pull 22N 19-year. I mean, the say that 3 times fast. Finish in French oak is the best beam I've had and an amazing finished bottle. I think that's an amazing bottle too. I have an open and I have a backup of that. I think that is a great bottle. What's the top Booker's batch ever? I mean, it depends on if you want to go back into dusty territory. If you want to talk about brown wax Booker's, then okay, you know, that's very good. If you want to talk like, let's say in the last decade or so, I think, I've not tasted all of them, I think Big Man Small Batch, which I believe is 2015-01, Big Man Small Batch was incredible bookers. I've never been like interested in pulling the trigger at the price point. I don't even know what they go for anymore. But I remember looking at it at one point being like, I don't want to shell that out for a Booker's. Great batch. All right, Glocks. I hope you're good, man. Little Book 09 is a beast, says Jordan. So, all right, let's do this comparison. My favorite Little Book has been Little Book 03, which was the blend of straight bourbons. 2017 mixtures. Yeah, there you go, Joe. That's on the list. I like the new Bookers, but Grandad 114 single barrel's better at nearly half the cost. I can see that. That's a great bottle. All right, we have a couple more giveaways coming in. I'll get you guys in a second on Venmo, but let's do this Little Book comparison. So batch 9 or chapter 9, very similar proof. 121.8 versus 122.6 of this year. Let me make sure that's right. Is this batch 9? Yes. It's called None for Granted. Oh, I remember this batch now. I remember this. There's like 8-year rye and then 7 to 11-year bourbon. The nose doesn't do much for me. It's just completely average, you know. Little Book 09. That just tastes like a shelf, a slightly elevated shelf product from Beam. Like at a high proof, of course. That drinks like a $60 bottle to me. I don't know. And then you go to the new one, number 10. Number 10, I'm sorry. I have a complaint about one aspect of the whiskey, and the rest of it, it's just how it spreads on your palate. Whoever blended that was thinking about the drinking experience. They weren't thinking as much about like, I don't feel like they were thinking as much about like nailing a profile as they were, let's just find something that completely saturates your palate. That is it. That is the best Little Book. If you like the Little Book Rye that they did, it was like super dill forward. I gave it a bad review a few years ago. I've tasted it since then. I'm like, what was I smoking? I like this rye. That was good. I don't know if that was chapter 6, 7, 8, something like that. So that's its own thing in my mind for Little Book. But Little Book 3 and Little Book 10 would be my favorite other batches, I think. 3 would be my favorite. This might be my second favorite. Still not really worth the asking price. Don't pay over SRP. But good job, whoever blended that. Yeah, Kenneth, dude, listen, I need to go back in chapter 8. I need to go back and revisit that. I need to get a bottle. I was like, what was I smoking when I gave that a bad review? I know it's very dilly, but who cares? Never had Booker's Rye. Brett, I honestly think Booker's Rye is a little bit overrated. I love that whiskey. It's not worth $2,000 on secondary, you know? I think it's more of like a $700 bottle if I compared it to other things. The price is astronomical. It's just because it was so limited. This now tasting box is brilliant, not joking. This takes away so much confusion. I'm glad. By the way, Whiskey Habit, you never clarified for me, or maybe I didn't see it in the chat, what years you were talking about in your question earlier. Yeah, that's Joe at his house helping me out and throwing those boxes up, which is very cool. Joe did that too. Congrats on fatherhood, Cam. Enjoy the baby years because you'll blink and they'll be over. Then the kids hit preteen and they're over you. Yeah, I can feel that breaking my heart already. I know that's so cheesy, but it's crazy. You hold your little, 2-day-old baby and it's just like they look at you and you just, I don't know. And I'm also a sappy biatch, because like Sarah did the whole thing, the whole birth unmedicated. She was at home until the very last minute. We drove to the hospital. We were in the hospital for an hour and the baby was out. I mean, so I watched her go through everything at home and then we went to the hospital. And she knew exactly how she wanted it to go. Couple hiccups along the way, in the process, things happen, baby comes out, heart rate dropped right before the baby came out. Had to cut the cord immediately instead of waiting because baby wasn't breathing, cord around the neck. Like there were some situations, right? But I was just like, for the next 36 hours after that, obviously there's a lot of lack of sleep. I would just like burst into tears. I like had to drive home and like grab some stuff and go back, and I was just sobbing. It was just a mess, you know? It's a totally different thing. People, when they're like, oh, you don't know how you can't experience this until you experience it, that is a correct thing. You don't know until you know. Brett, there you go. I love this. Outside the star, I had a girl. Jeremy, I agree with the hot take on Booker's Rye. Yeah, I love Booker's Rye. It's a very special bottle to me. I have like a teeny bit left behind me. I will never buy another Booker's Rye at that price. There's no way. What's up, Claire? Good to see you, dude. Are you counting the infinite bottles? No, I'm not counting infinite. That said, I vary from a lot of people's takes on the infinite bottles. Like, I just didn't like Little Book Infinite 1. I thought the palette was flat. Profile, incredible. Flat palette, didn't like it. Infinite 2, I think I have, like, somewhere. I don't know where. I may have sold it, actually. I don't know. I think I remember liking Infinite 2 more, but still not loving it. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. No, Joe, I don't have a chapter 8 because I talked shit about the bottle back then. And then I went back and tasted it at one point. And I'm like, this is pretty good. Dustin, good to see you, bro. Speak of the devil, that's where I got my Booker's Rye right there. Congrats on the edition. Hope all is well. Everything's great, man. Okay. Let's do some Russells. I like that little book. I think the reason they probably threw that toasted in there, that toasted and sherry 4-year, the toasted component can help carry a whiskey through a finish. So when I blended at Limestone Farm, before RIP Limestone Farms, when we did a blend there of a white label blend of Jim Beam stuff, it was like 6-year Beam that we were working with, and then we threw a little Cabernet finished 8-year New Riff in there as well, kind of to spice it up at the end. But when we were initially blending with that Beam, some of the Beam was like medium toast, some of it was heavy toast, some of it was unfinished. And what I was finding through the blending of these different toasted barrels, which again, I'm not a toasted person, but I was trying to add a little bit in. The reason to add a little toasted is to lengthen the palate. So you do end up getting the toasted note. Sorry, I am belching right now, tacos galore. But you do, like that whiskey, that Beam was 6 years old. So you could still taste the youth. And the toasted also adds its own kind of youth, but it lengthens the palate and it adds fullness to the whiskey. So then you're trying to strike a balance between how much toasted is too much toasted in the blend. I think it's more of a finishing component in a blend rather than like basing a blend around it. You don't want 80% toasted in the blend. It's just going to take it over. You want like 15 to 25% in the blend. And so we were working with that just to add length. And I think that's what that new little book is doing. I think they did that because they wanted to add some trajectory to the palate, and then that sherry finish added width. So you add length and width with the same blending component with the 4-year stuff. It's a cool strategy. I just think the one thing that took away from it is the fact that the whiskey's 4 years old. And so you taste that youth. If that would have been 8-year, that little book might have been a bottle that could have competed in a top 20 for the year, I wonder how that Girl Dad bourbon is. I don't know. They commented on a thing on Instagram for me, and they were like, we have something that we think you would like, and they didn't message me. They commented, and I never responded because I'm not good at responding to comments. So maybe I should and be like, let me taste it. But people are charging $350 on secondary for it. It's like 7-year, 101 proof or something like that. I'm not going to do that. Jeb loves this big easy batch of Booker's. I'll take one more sip before we move on. Dude, it is good. It's very sugary sweet, you know? That if you eat like a sugar in the raw packet with that very like large granules of sugar, it does that on my palate. It's like that sugar is melting on your tongue along with the profile of whatever's going on. Good. Thoughts on Bullet 20-year rye? I'm excited for it. Can't wait to get it. I'm going to pay whatever I have to pay for that bottle because that sounds right up my alley. What's the oldest MGP rye out there? I've tasted a 31-year rye? It was like a random Ibra bottling from overseas. It's like 45 or something bottles came out of it. It was a 91 proof cask strength rye. That was the craziest, oldest rye I've ever tasted. And other than that, Redemption 18, I never tasted any like crazy dusty ryes. Michter's 25 rye, that's a dream pour for me. I'll probably never get to taste that. Old Rittenhouse, never tasted those. So yeah, most of the older MGP ryes I've tasted have been modern, except for Redemption 18. And then that 31-year random, I bought a sample for $300. It was like the craziest blind purchase of a sample, and it was very cool. So, anyways, Joe, thanks, man. I'll absolutely take over from here, dude. Ryan Dumatal, thank you for the super chat. In for 2 says, congrats to you and the wife on your baby girl. Thank you. Thanks, Ryan. Garrett Kowalski is in for 4. And what are we moving on to next? I think it is... We can't do Russell's yet. We got to do one more. We're talking about ryes. We got to do the DrumKey Spirits Rye. All right, so I'm not a Barrel King Gold member. I don't know if that's what you have to be to get this. Probably that or in Jason's Patreon, but Jason sent me the link to this. I picked one up. So let's see what this is all about. Get it poured out. Just got here the other day. Oh no, John, I have not checked PayPal. Thank you for that reminder. We would have gotten there eventually, but I have not thought to check it here in a second. Thank you for that. Matthew Chickarell, in for 2, says in for 2 entries. Thank you. Thank you, Matt. Mr. Kenneth Clark is in for 1, says congrats, Cam. Thanks for streaming tonight. Thank you, man. Thanks for supporting and being here. Even though you love Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Rye A126. I'm just kidding. Cody B, in for 4, said congrats. DG Cap 42, do Adams blind. That's an inside joke, and it's very relevant. All right. I need to pull up PayPal here. Let's get into this DrumKey Rye'd Cymbal. Let me look this up, see if I can find DrumKey Rye'd Cymbal blend breakdown. Maybe like the Google AI will have that. Yeah, the AI is not helping. Not really helping. I don't know if I can find this in text form anywhere that's like searchable. Oh, here's an Instagram post. Okay. 90% is 7. Holy shit, really? 90% of this, 118.6 is the proof. 90% is 7-year. Oh, by the way, sorry, I forgot to do this. We're going to turn off super chats now. I said 1050, so 11, just to be fair to everybody. Banners off, no more super chats. We'll do the giveaway here in a sec. We'll probably do the giveaway and then do the Russell's review, just to get the giveaway done. That would be nice. Proof is 118.6, 90% 7-year, 51% rye. That has to be MGP. 8% is 8-year 95.5 Green River rye. And I have to wonder if that isn't Kelvin OZ rye and not actually Green River. I have to wonder. Because like the older 95.5s Green River has in their rick houses. Like, they have up to 10-year 95.5s there. But I think around that 8-year mark, you're probably still in Kelvin barrels. And then 2% is a 9-year 95.5 MGP rye. 2%, 9-year 95.5 finished, and EC23 barrels. So that's like the little cherry on top. Okay, let's see. Cam, I'm out of Crittenden's rye. I've been looking everywhere for another. When are you picking another? I don't know. Traveling, like, I got to be able to travel down there. And right now, with the family stuff, it's not a great time. Matt Crittenden is one of the best people in this industry. I don't want to call Matt and say, will you please send me samples? I want to go to Crittenden's. It's just, Matt is a person you want to be around. You want to be in his pole barns, you know, with his barrels. It's just an experience, and you got to go down there and do it. So I don't know, but I want to go down there soon. Before he runs out of his first run distillate with the Kelvin barrels, like the really old barrels. Some of my favorite stuff we've ever picked. Anyways. All right, on the nose. Joe, thanks, man, for putting that up. Guys, Joe's back. Why does PayPal need my Face ID 4 times in a row to open the app? All right, so DrumKey rye smells older than it is. It's mostly 7-year. It has a cola note to it that is, I look at those components and I wonder like how he's getting that cola note in that blend. I wonder if that's from the 95.5 Green River rye, if they're in Kelvin. So this has like, it has rye, like candied rye notes, candied strawberry. Yeah, candied strawberry, candied vanilla, and candied rye. Plus, so that's like on the brighter, sweeter side. And then on the low end, it's cola. So you have like this like big spread of things on the nose, which I like. I mean, it's a good nose. It's a good nose. 118.6. Not gonna like blow your palate out probably. So let's see what it's like. All right, cheers. Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal. This thing drinks like a 12-year, 10 to 12-year rye. And it's 7, mostly 7, with a little 8 and a sprinkle of 9. So number one, kudos on either barrel selection in the blend or just like figuring out how to make this profile, even if like not all the barrels tasted the way that this tastes. My one issue would be that it is a little tannic actually, which is crazy to say about like a mostly 7-year rye. How do you get that much tannin out of a 7-year rye? The reason I say that is because it's a little dry on the palate. But I guarantee you put this in a blind next to like much older things or just like legacy things, and this is going to have a shock and wow factor next to those things that is going to be probably impressive. So someone said this earlier. I think this is in Ascot's maybe. Is that what's going on right now? I think this is in Ascot's, and it like won a category or did really well. I can see why that would happen. You know what else there is in here? I was trying to figure this out this whole time. Like this whole time I've been like a little like just smelling it, trying to figure it out. Cucumber. There's like a cucumber note in here. And I wonder if that's from the 51% rye. Because that's not a mash bill from MGP I'm super familiar with. Cucumber water. So it's still a green note, but it's a different take on a green note. Huh. I don't know how you got this much oak out of this. It's that 95.5 Green River has to be in Kelvin. If it's not, I would be so shocked. Or maybe the 70 or 51% is Kelvin. It's good. It's good. Yeah. If I had one complaint, it's like it's a little dry. But I think when you're going for an oakier profile, which I think this has a lot of great oak, you're gonna fight tannin just to try to get that out of a younger whiskey blend. And then the other thing, let me think, price point. The price point's a little high. I think Jason knows that. He talked about that on his live stream last night. So he knows the price is a little high. It'd be great to get this price down. I think it'd be great to get like a lot of Barrel King stuff a little lower. Maybe a little more dynamic pricing in their catalog instead of kind of sticking to a membership price and a bottle price. And I haven't checked in on every single thing they release, so maybe I'm wrong, but I just think a little more dynamic pricing, which I think Whiskey Blendery was doing the same thing. It was like membership, everything's $125. Now it's more dynamic there, and I like that dynamic model better. I think people understand it as a consumer a little bit better as well. It's less simple, but it's a little bit more like if you know the stats, then you know what to expect for the given price point. I think that's a good thing. So yeah, price, and then it is tannic, so just like you got to know that going into it. The proof point 118.6, it's like the perfect proof point for this. So hats off to Jason, good blend. It beat out Heaven Hill Grain to Glass last night. Jason announced that on the live. Definitely a vegetal note on the nose. I think the vegetal note for me is that cucumber note. So I don't have an issue with that. If it was broccoli, which I got out of my tainted Van Winkle rye, that's a vegetal note that I don't like. Yeah, but you guys, so if you throw this in an EC23 barrel, 2% of the blend, I don't think is adding this much oak. I think it's probably adding a little sprinkle on top. And listen, I could absolutely be wrong about that. But 2% is a very small amount. So I think if you told me the 8-year 95.5 Green River Rye, you tell me that's in Kelvin, I would be like, okay, I get it. I understand why there's that much cola and tannin. All right, excuse me. Still taco belching over here. It's that point in the night. A couple PayPals. Mr. John H. Guys, giveaway is done. John H is in for 5 entries with a couple whiskey emojis. And then Mike Aterno, Aterno, in for 2 entries. Says Tony Aterno. Thank you, man. And then we have one more Venmo entry from Adam Taylor in for 5. Congrats on baby girl. Thank you. Thank you, Adam. Okay, let's move on now. Final tasting of the night. Russell's 13 45th anniversary edition. So technically this is Russell's 13. We're probably all going to call it batch 7, even though apparently batch 4 and 5 was the exact same stuff, just bottled at different times. I don't know if that's exactly true, but that's what I've heard. But this is the spring 2026 batch. It is 121.2 proof. It is barrel proof. So let me grab a glass for this. Brett said, sent you a Venmo. Not sure if it's the right one. Okay, Brett, let me get you, bro. Brett T is in for 4 entries, Joe. Thanks, Brett. Oh, Brett, you son of a bitch. Oh, Brett said, real men have boys. Listen, Brett, I can always try again, dude. You're terrible. You're terrible. Jeremy said 2026 New Riff 10-year in the glass. Really nice. Is that the bourbon or the rye, Jeremy? Adam said, oh shit, it's a gambling stream. Yeah, dude, I got to talk to Jason and ask if those 95.5 Green Rivers were Kelvins. Okay. We'll just do the giveaway at the end of the stream. We only have one more pour. It's fine. It's fine. Listen, if you want to check back in, if you got to go to bed, all that kind of stuff, just check back in tomorrow, because if you win, I need you to email me and tell me, hey, I'm XYZ person from the live stream. I'll put my email in the chat right now. just in case anyone, like, we get to 11 o'clock, people start going to bed. So if you do win, you'll email me here, drumsanddrams@gmail.com, and you'll just let me know that you won the giveaway, which will happen probably in 10, 15 minutes. And you can tell me what you won, but I'll have a record of it. Just let me know it's you and send me your mailing address. Very important, so I can send you your samples. Frankie said reopen super chats. No, Frankie, we're done. If a couple squeak through, it's fine. But I'm not. No banner. No banner. I want to be done. And I appreciate everybody's support. Okay. Adam, congrats. Okay, there we go. Thanks, Adam. Love you, dude. Cam, it's me, XYZ name. I won your Blade and Bow 30. And I'm Mike.
And I'm Mike.
All right, Russell's Reserve, 121.2. What I read about this is that there was no 13 year in here. Is that right? Russell's 13 batch spring 2026 blend makeup. Let's see if it was actually in a press release or if that was just hearsay. It's a meticulously blended batch of 14, 17, and 18-year-old barrels. Nice. So this is kind of back to the original Russell's 13, where they were putting in like 19 and 20-year stuff. Let's do this. One more special bottle. One more special bottle for tonight. It's a little silly. When I was in college, in my undergrad, I'm a percussionist, right? So I'm dealing with gear all the time. And then I would go back to that college after I got my master's degree, and I would perform there as a guest artist. And the person that was at the university that was like the logistics coordinator of all the different like facilities and stuff at the music school was a percussionist that had gone to the same school I did for undergrad. So he was like an alum that came back and was like the logistics guy. He was also a percussionist. His name was Todd. And Todd ended up leaving that gig at some point and getting a job as a liquor store manager here in Columbus. And Todd is no longer doing that. He is actually back at that school. He retook the same job he had. He did the liquor store thing for a little bit, went back and took the same job he had. And Todd's a great guy. Anyways, the point is, when I was getting married in Colorado, another connection, we were talking about that with this Blade Bow 22, Sarah and I got married on the top of this mountain, or whatever, 13,000 feet, came back down, had to take the highway to get back to Colorado Springs, to the lodge. And we were stuck in traffic for 6 hours because there was a head-on collision in front of us. Semi crossed the median. Everybody died. Like, horrible situation. And the highway was backed up incredibly far. And it got to this point where everybody was just like, we were all parked on the highway. Everyone was out of their cars, just kind of hanging out because no one could go anywhere. And when we were there, that was August 2021, which I'm pretty sure is when this released. Russell's 13. And Todd texted me and he was like, you want me to hold one of these bottles for you? Which is totally not allowed in Ohio as a control state, but he's not doing that job anymore, so I can get him in trouble. And I was like, dude, I would do anything if you could hold me that bottle. So I got this Russell's Batch 1 from Todd. Now, I ended up grabbing one on secondary as well, because I think it was right around that same time. So this is the bottle that Todd gave me 5 years ago. And I was always like, I don't know when I'm going to open this. Now, my Russell's Batch 1 is long gone. This is the only other one I have. I don't have a Batch 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't have those anymore. They're gone as well. So I'm going to open Batch 1 again. A little bit of a special bottle. So yeah, like, we were in that traffic. And there's a picture of Sarah and I, like, in the same clothes, like hoodie and sweats that we hiked up the mountain, got married wearing. Like, I have my arm around her, and like behind us is just a fucking row of highway that is stopped and cars just going, Yeah, so it's kind of funny. But because the new one is a blend of, primarily older whiskey, I would love to compare it to batch 1, which I think batch 1 is fantastic. Shout out Todd. Yeah, and this was also $70. We met Todd at a pizza joint. Pies and Pints at Easton, if you guys, anyone's from Ohio. Met him over there and he just handed me a brown paper bag. He's like, here you go, dude. What's up, Jason? Hey, I got a question for you. Hang on, I'm trying to go back and chat. Oh, we don't need to. Nah, we don't need to rehash any of that, dude. All right. Anyways, Jason. Okay. 95.5 Green River Rye, 8% in your rye blend. Is it Kelvin? I gotta know. Because, I'm trying to figure out where you're getting these cola notes from in that blend. I imagine the EC23 is adding something, but that's only 2%. So is the 95.5 cola note, or is the cola note coming from the 8-year 95.5 Green River? Or is there a chance that the 51% MGPs were in Kelvin? Sorry, I didn't mean to put that on the screen, Jason. I did not know what that was in reference to. I did not mean to do that. I just rolled back and... yeah. Anyways. Okay. A little unfair comparison here already on the nose. The MGPs were Kelvin. Okay, that makes sense. It's like how the hell are you getting a cola note out of 7-year MGP? Especially if I think about, if it's a Speyside, if they're MGP Ryes in Speyside at 7 years old, that's just going to be dilly. Maybe not the 51s, I guess, but that makes sense. Unfair comparison here. Crack the batch 1 again, Russell's 13. It just smells so damn old. And I smell the new one. So I'm going to put the batch 113 aside for right now. We will come back to it. And in fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pour the batch 6, the most recent Russell's 13, excuse me, from last year. So we can do a comparison between batch 6, which is the most recent, and batch 1 versus the new one. But let me just focus on the new one now because I think it's kind of its own thing. Jason said, EC23 finished rye. I literally added 3 gallons. That's all it took. It's like the special sauce then. I'd love to... One thing I've always wanted, and I think if I get my own NDP thing up, it's a packaging nightmare to do it. I would love to release a blend and then add a 50 ml of every blend component. Excuse me. God, sorry guys. Add a 50 ml component of every... sample of every component of the blend in the package. So it's if it's a 3-barrel blend, you can taste all 3 individually and then taste the final product. I've always thought that would be cool, but it would be so hard to figure out the proportions that you would be allotted in the blend versus what you can send out in the samples. It would really limit how many bottles you could sell. Not a smart business move, but it would be fun. Okay. So the new Russell's 13, I get 2 distinct layers. One is this top effervescent, spicy, and smoky layer. So it's I say smoky, I think what I mean is probably more along the lines of straight up barrel char. Yeah, so the top layer, you know what it reminds me of? The Turkey non-chill filtered rare breed, the first one, the travel exclusive. That had this very distinct smoky note on the top. This has that note. But then underneath it, it is pretty fruity. But because the proof is higher on this, and because it's at barrel proof, I guess the old one was also barrel proof. The 114.8 batch 1 was also barrel proof. But this just has a brighter profile. There's still quite a bit of fruit here, though. I mean, it's really good. It's kind of is kind of out of left field. So what it reminds me of is a blend of just different turkey products I've had at different times. So like that non-chill filtered rare breed, plus there is a little bit of a beacon note in here, very in the background. Like there's an aged note in here, but it's not prominent. It's like just the 10% in the background. And that's probably like that 18 year that they, or 14, 17, 18 year. Choking on whiskey over here. It's probably the older barrels in the blend doing that. And the 14 year is probably contributing that like smoky or effervescent spicy thing on the top. So yeah, it's almost like you blended turkey, Wild Turkey 13, Wild Turkey non-chill filtered rare breed, and like a little touch of beacon in there. And that's kind of where this is landing for me. Like I think there are actually layers in this whiskey, but in a very different way. It does not smell at all like batch one. Batch one smells old. Batch one reminds me, I don't mean this literally, but it reminds me more of Russell's 15 than it does what this batch is. Batch 1, 2, and 3 of Russell's 13 don't relate to whatever we are now getting from Russell's 13. Those 3 batches almost should be called something else, you know, like put them under a different branding. And then for batch 4, 5, 6, 7, that is a more linked thing. Like those all feel like, okay, that's Russell's 13. Batches 1 through 3, they could have called them like Russell's Special Reserve or something, you know, something else. Because they were so much older tasting. Honestly, I think still kind of underrated as far as modern turkey goes. So yeah, I like this new one. The price point, $200, right? Let me see. Spring 2026 price. $200. Yeah, I don't really want to go over that. I wouldn't really want to pay secondary for this bottle. No. I think 200 is like even value. 150 would be a pretty solid value for me. Like good value, but 200 even value. I think it's a good bottle. Let's see. Tastes nothing like turkey profile. To me, it tastes like some turkey. That turkey, rare breed non-chill filtered, that is the closest thing I can think of to that smoky note on the top. Let me do the comparison to last year. Jason said Chattanooga just did something like that with their latest founders. 3 samples you can blend. I like that. It's a good idea. As long as you have enough whiskey to go around. Russell's 1345th is the most unique and off-profile turkey product I've ever had. I think Russell's 15 is still the most off-profile because it is turkey funk and fruit, but it's at a level that you're like, I didn't know you could do this modern day, because there's kind of a little dusty quality to it. A lot of guys mentioning Eddie, but Bruce made this. I didn't know that. Master's Keep still has that turkey fruit profile. The 45th is sugary sweet sauce baking spice. Okay, let's do a comparison real quick to batch 6 from last year, which was this was a sleeper bottle in my end of the year blinds. It ended up as 21st. So there was like my top 20. This was the 21st whiskey for me last year, was this Russell's 13, which is very shocking. And this is like, it actually has kind of the same like spice note from this new 45th edition or 45th anniversary. It's the same top spice note, and then it's like a little bit of a blackberry thing underneath, not nearly to the degree that C&E had. C&E had so much blackberry to it for me. But it's like way more simple and younger tasting. Last year's Russell's 13. It's very sugary sweet. And then this year,
I think it's way more complex this year because you have that older whiskey in the blend. Yeah, I like it. I like this year's a lot. I think it'll be a sleeper in blind flights for me. I have to, test that theory. 121 proof. It's a good proof point. But then you put it next to batch 1, and this smells like syrupy, stewed fruit, cherries, and berry notes. And angel food cake. They're not even related. Wow. Yeah. So, even though batch 1 is a lower proof, I definitely prefer that profile. But the new one, pretty darn cool. Yo, Magic Talking Taco, just keep it, keep it cool, man. We're all cool here. We're all cool here. Sorry I'm spamming. I'm half a bottle into this one, and I love it. No, I like it a lot. I'll probably get a backup of this if I can find one at SRP of the new 13. I think it's a cool profile from Turkey. So I could see this breaking into my top 20 of the year. I really could, especially in blinds. The proof really helps it, and I think, I'm trying to put it, in my head, I'm trying to put it next to bottles. I'm looking at my shelf of 26 releases. It's probably still like top 10, top 15 right now as far as what I've tasted that has come out this year. Yeah, it's going to be up there. We'll see how this year's like GTS and WLW do. Cam's going to eat? Okay. All right, Slad. Come on. Dude, I eat tacos before every stream. 6 tacos tonight. And I have 5 more in the fridge for after this stream. And I'm going to freaking... I don't know what I'm going to do. Take some vitamins, too. Take some vitamins before I go to bed. What up, Cam? What's up, Henry Turner? No, I just keep the live chat cool, All right. Anything else, guys? Any other comparisons? Before we do the giveaway tonight, we covered a lot of ground. The new EC Rye is fine. Jason, have you tried B526? New EC Rye is fine. The Little Book, deceptively good for what it is. I couldn't believe, the 4-year hurts it, and it also helps it. The sherry finish helps it. The toasted finish kind of helps it, but it's 4 years old, so it tastes younger. Big Easy Batch Booker's surprisingly good. Blade & Bow 22 tastes dusty, but it's flat. Rittenhouse 250th, for some reason, I really like that profile, but it's also flat. But I'm still going to buy it. DrumKey, disproportionate cola notes. A little too tannic for the age, which is weird and cool. And then the price point, it's like, I just wish Barrel King would kind of adjust overall the price points. And the EC21, I like EC21 a lot. Russell's 45th, I like a lot. No, these are small tacos, Gino. Small tacos. CNE or the new Russell's 13. You're going to make me do another comparison. Ugh. All right, let's do it. Real quick. Fresh pour. Fresh pour. Gotta run. Congrats on little girl. Let's collab soon. Thanks, Jason. Good job on this blend, dude. I think I like the rye better than the bourbon, actually. But I'm also a rye guy. All right, so I need to find CNE. Okay, so CNE is a high proof. It's the highest proof turkey product ever. 128 versus 121 from the new Russell's 13. Oh, Sarah's texting me. Uh-oh. All right, guys. Let's wrap this real quick. Yeah, CNE is better on the nose. Fuller, more berry. Palate a little sharper, actually, because of the higher proof. It's a toss-up. I prefer the CNE nose. Palate, very good. It's a little astringent, actually. And the new Russell's 13. CNE. CNE's better. The Russell's 13 is pretty close because it's stylistically kind of in the same realm, even though the profiles are different. All right, let's do the giveaway real quick. Thank you guys so much for contributing tonight. I gotta go help the wife. Like now. We're learning together. Let me check all the Venmo, PayPal stuff just to make sure I've got everything here. Good, we're good on Venmo. Okay. Taco, you're good, man. You're good. I just want to, like, unless there is somebody that came in here, like, totally trolling the stream itself, and then everybody piles on, I understand that, but otherwise, I like to keep it positive in here if we can. So, anything that Jason and I have talked about, like, before this, we are good now. So, okay. Let's run this G word. Let's run this giveaway. 4 winners. Remember, 4 winners tonight. 3 from me, 1 from Amy. And I didn't want to use this as an incentive earlier because I'm not trying to drive more super chats. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a 9th sample to everybody's pack that wins tonight. I'm almost done with this one, but we got this one. So I'm going to add Blade and Bow 30 to everybody's sample pack that wins tonight. No more entries. Like, we're done. So let's just let's spin it now. I'm going to copy these names in. We got random.org. All right. Paste. And let me share my screen with you guys. Cool. Okay, so this is the tracker. It's everybody's name, your number of entries, auto-populates over here. Thank you, Amy Bohm, for making this for me 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago at this point. You can see I've copied everybody's names in. It goes over here, and we're going to spin it 7 times, top 4 winners. Here we go. 1. No duplicate winners. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. And here comes spin 7. Boom. Slad. Jeremy H. Sad Machine and Ben Arrington. Not Harrington, but Joe. You know what? You heard what I said. These are our top 4. Adam, what? Did I mess up something up? Chargeback. Shut your mouth, Adam. Congrats, you guys. So Ben Arrington gets Amy Bohm's sample pack. The Jeremys and Sad Machine will get the sample pack from tonight. Congrats to you guys. Here's my email in the chat right now. Remember to please email me with your name, mailing address. Just remind me that you won, whatever. And I'll send this out to you probably by like Monday. All the sample bottles are clean, ready to go. I just got to pour them. I have a new shipping system, so everything should be good. All the UPS crackdowns, and yeah, try to get them out on Monday. Cheers, guys. I got to go help the wife. Have a good night. Thank you. Like, seriously, thank you.